Hello, intuitive friends, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Welcome back. Whether you are a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces in your sun, moon, rising, or other placements on your astrological natal chart, then these messages are for you. And today I have an exclusive pick a card reading focusing on the month of March. I'll talk more about that in a minute. But first, my name is Lexa Tarot, and I am a second degree Reiki practitioner, as well as an intuitive tarot and oracle reader. And if you are interested in learning more about me, my client testimonials, or my credentials, just take a look down below in the description box, and there you will find the links. For those of you who are my subscribers, my new viewers, and visitors alike, I want to thank each and every one of you for your love, your support, and your loyalty to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Today, in this pick a card reading, this is the pick a card reading for the month of March, and of course, I have an exclusive pick a card reading, which, by the way, all of the elements have different pick a card readings. So if you have other placements on your astrological natal chart, don't forget to take a look at those other pick a card readings. Today, I'm going to be channeling messages focusing on what's surfacing here and unfolding for you in the month of March, looking at the shadow side as well as the light side of the messages. That being said, these are preliminary cards here, or preliminary groups here, but I will be doing live shuffling for every single group here. Okay, now down below in the description box, you will see the timestamps. But first, let me introduce the groups. Group number 1 is represented by the musical note. Musical note represents group number 1. Group number 2 is represented by the owl. Owl represents group number 2. Group number 3 is represented by the leaf. Leaf represents group number 3. Allow your intuition to be your guide, and then look down below in the description box and click on the designated timestamp for the group that you've selected. I will see you in your designated group. Hi, intuitive friend. Hello, welcome back, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. You selected group number 1, and group number 1 is represented by the musical note. I will be channeling these messages, both the preliminary card and whatever messages comes through in regards to the musical note at the end of your reading. But first, as I mentioned in the introduction, I'm going to be channeling messages here for you, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Whether you have Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces in your sun, moon, rising, or other placements on your astrological natal chart, focusing on what's surfacing here, what may be possibly surfacing, both the shadow side and the light side in this March reading. Now, if you do have other placements on your astrological natal chart, take a look at the other pick a card readings that I've done for all the other elements, and that could also give you additional bonus messages throughout the month of March. Now, let's take a look here. What is about to possibly awaken within you, both the shadow side as well as the light side, so that you can make the best of it in this month of March. Now, what's interesting here in the month of March is we're right between that closing of the cycle of the Pisces season and opening of the cycle of Aries season. And we'll see how maybe those energies may also influence your reading. Okay, don't forget to take a look at that 2026 astrological pick a card reading, also focusing on that theme. But let's take a look here at your card. And you have here the Two of Coins, or the Two of Pentacles. Let me talk about channeling the messages first of the shadow side of the Two of Pentacles. There may be a situation, circumstance, event, person, environment, or just something in general that may be potentially, be surfacing or resurfacing in the month of March. The Two of Pentacles shadow side is talking about maybe you overly committing, saying yes to a lot of projects, and having your plate so full that you're really unable to handle the yeses that you've said, the commitments that you have had. Okay, this could be not only an influx of commitments that you may have said yes to, but it could also be an influx or an overabundance of work, of clients, if this is something having to do with career, maybe an influx of multiple responsibilities that may be coming up for you in the month of March. So it may be different things. It could be your love sector, it could be career, it could be friends, family, loved one, your domestic scene, but there are just lots of things going on, or just something that is like one box is opening, another box is open. It's like a lot of stuff, a lot of energy. Okay. It could be because you've overcommitted, but it could also be there's just a lot of things that are demanding your focus and your responsibility. Another thing that's coming up as the Two of Pentacles in the shadow side is you making poor choices here that could lead to the sense of feeling imbalanced, feeling that you can't juggle something properly because maybe disorganization, maybe procrastination, maybe you feeling overwhelmed, maybe the lack of organization, scheduling, and planning could create a scattered energy. So it could be external. It could also be internal. You're just overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed because there's just way too many things coming all at the same time, or something just mounting one on top of the other. Again, causing the sense of like disorganized, overwhelmed. And then this energy is not allowing you to really open yourself up to the best possible energy here for the month of March. Now, of course, we're going to take a look at how you can counteract that shadow energy in a minute. But first, let's get more details here in regards to the shadow side. All right, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Ooh, that just jumped out of the deck. And I'm taking a look at the no side of this deck because I'm taking a look at the shadow side. And so the no side says, don't risk it all on this. It's a losing proposition, okay? So don't risk it all on this. I feel this is talking about putting too many eggs in one basket. There could be here a lack of delegation on your part, especially if there are things that you can delegate to other people. There may be potentially here a situation, circumstance, or an event where either someone is not doing the best practices to be a leader, whether that is you or that could be someone else, or there's this sense of procrastination that could end up costing here a decision that needs to be made. Okay. Now, again, it says don't risk it all. It says it's a losing proposition. There may be way too many things here that you may be juggling, so much so that you become way too much overwhelmed by whatever this may be. Okay. So make sure that in the month of March, you're not overcommitting. Okay, don't worry about people pleasing, because what happens is there's this energy here feeling like you risk it all or everything is on the line because you're spreading your energy too thin. You're draining yourself out in a way that it is going to be difficult for you to recover. Even if maybe in the past you've been able to wing something last minute or to just wing it, this is talking about other potential energies here that could, this time around in the month of March, might not pan out in that way. If you're usually kind of in the state of mind of, oh yeah, this is easy, I've done that a thousand times, this is just quick, it's like in and out and it's not going to be an issue. But this time around, there may be, especially because Mercury is in retrograde from February 26th all the way through March 20th. So there is a possible higher tendency of miscommunication, of glitches, tech glitches, travel, cancellations, postponements, delays happening as well. So if you're used to just winging it, the month of March, this is kind of giving you the sense of like, no, don't overcommit. If anything, take less than more. of whatever this may be. Take less responsibilities that you know for sure that you're going to be able to handle, because if there is a snag on the responsibilities that you're just used to doing, then it's okay because you can manage it. But if you're putting way too much on your plate, it's going to be very difficult to manage, and you may risk here the chance of either losing an opportunity or just more things piling up for you. Now, let's take a look at the Two of Pentacles energy in its light side. Now, the Two of Pentacles in its light side is someone who's able to adapt. You're able to adapt. You're able to handle whatever comes your way, either because of your mastery, either because of your experience, or it could be just your personality. You're able to prioritize. You're able to create a list. What is the most important to the least important? There is a sense of organization, of scheduling, of you being able to adapt and be flexible to whatever may be coming up. Maybe that's part of your personality. So with the Two of Pentacles is saying, by you not overcommitting to something, by you not putting so many responsibilities or things on your plate, then it's going to be easier for you to adapt and be flexible, because again, you're not spreading yourself thin. You're not draining your energy. So if there is a glitch, or if there is a cancellation, a delay, a postponement of some sort, then you're able to manage it, because you have the opportunity to then say, okay, I don't have too much on my plate, so let me resolve the situation, circumstance, event. Whatever may pop up, I can manage it, I can resolve it, I can take care of it. But that's the Two of Pentacles in its light energy. Someone who is, being responsible in the back and forth. Someone who can manage the back and forth, because there is a sense of structure, organization. There's a sense of being able to adapt to the situation, circumstance, or event, because they're able to make quick decisions. They're able to prioritize certain things, and they don't have way too much on their plate, okay? So this is a very beautiful light energy here, in a way for you to counteract that shadow side of the Two of Pentacles. Now let's take a look. Ooh, that was very quick. Let's take a look here at the light side of this message, and I'm looking at the yes this time around. It says, unlock the potential. Keys are available. Listen, the keys available is coming across as delegation. There may be people, support systems, tools, and resources that can help you prioritize or help you adapt to whatever may be coming up in the month of March, where you haven't overcommitted. As long as you haven't overcommitted, or as long as you are not keeping your plate way too full, there is this energy here saying, listen, you're going to be able to not only manage the situation, but the keys to adapting to it might be delegation. It might be here you focusing and prioritizing something, okay? Maybe what you put at number 3 on the list is going to have to be number 1 just for a little bit, because it is requiring you to give it that much attention, okay? I'm also feeling here with the unlock potential. Again, I feel whatever this may be, potentially needing your attention or needing you to juggle, okay, or to balance. I feel here, this, by the way, this could also be a choice. Like, it doesn't have to be just balancing. It could be a choice. It could be a choice that you're procrastinating when we're talking about the shadow side. And when we're talking about the light side of the Two of Pentacles, it's a choice that you're going to make, especially if they're two valuable things. And the one that you're going to possibly select is the one that gives you the most stability and security. Okay, because we're talking about Pentacles energy. Pentacles energy is all earth energy. It's about, what's stable, what's secure, what's practical, what makes sense, and what can grow. So if there is here a possibility with you where you are kind of on the fence on something, you're going to go with the secure side of it, whether it's the secure, stable person, or the secure, stable kind of like, that it's rock solid. But that's how it's coming across. And it's interesting because I did mention Pentacles energy. Pentacles energy is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So you may have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn on your astrological natal chart, or this could be connected to a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn as well. Okay, just giving you what's coming through. Now let's take a look at the preliminary card as well as the symbol here, right? So it's quite interesting here that your reading has a lot to do with juggling, balancing, making choices, feeling like there's a lot on your plate, and making sure that you're prioritizing those things that are important. And the reason why I'm saying that's interesting is because this note is coming across as frequency. Okay? So, in order for you to maximize that light side of your reading, you need to make sure that the shadow side, the overcommitment, the making poor choices, the feeling scattered, dropping the ball on something, feeling overwhelmed, being disorganized, the way that you can counterbalance that shadow is by you making sure that you make the time to ground your energy. Remember, coins is pentacles energy. Ground your energy by doing the following, okay? Some ideas here. You don't have to. This is just a suggestion. You can balance your 7 chakras by listening to the solfeggio frequencies of the 7 chakras. Okay, that's one way. Another way is to create a meditative 5-minute in the morning or 5-minute at night for you to just sit in silence and just meditate. Okay, could just be unwinding. Now, does it have to be meditation? No, it could be different things. It could be you listening to music. It could be you doing sound healing. It could be anything that brings you in the frequency of tranquility. Something that you are able to ground your energy, to decompress so that you can be aware and more focused and more centered to whatever this energy may be potentially or possibly unfolding for you in the month of March. Okay, so that's how this musical note. It's like going with the flow. Okay, so going with the flow of keeping calm, cool, collected in the center of all this that may be going on, perhaps or possibly in the month of March. Now let's take a look at the preliminary card, and you have here crocodile. Quite interesting, again, because the crocodile is an animal that takes its time. It observes, it assesses, it's patient, it doesn't move quickly unless it has in its sight exactly what it needs to do or what it need not do, but the prey, right? If it's going out, if it's going to grab something, if it's going to catch something, that is why crocodile is like a sneak attack, right? That's that energy. So whatever that may mean for you in connection to this crocodile energy is this energy of being intentional, pausing intentionally so that you can observe and assess so that when you need to act or react, you can do so by maximizing the light energy of the Two of Pentacles. So when you act or react, you're doing it quickly. You're doing it mindfully. You're doing it because you're adaptable, because you've been able to prioritize. You have things structured. You can juggle it because you're not overextending your energy. You're not feeling drained. So this crocodile energy is like the strong, silent type. Is this type of energy where you're showing to the world, to the externally, like, you know what? I can handle anything that comes my way because I am centered. I am grounded. I'm going with the flow of the dynamics that may shift in different ways in the month of March, but I am at the center. And this could also be here with the Two of Pentacles, you choosing to do the self-care that is needed so that you could keep very grounded in the month of March and could maximize this busyness or this scattered energy into a more productive way. Group number 2, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. That's all that I have for you here. I hope these messages have been insightful. Don't forget to drop a rose in the comment section, or give me a thumbs up. Let me know if these messages resonated for you. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Hello, group number 2, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. You selected group number 2, and group number 2 is the Owl. Now, this is the preliminary card, and the preliminary, obviously, the charm. I will channel that later in the reading because there are more details that could connect to the rest of your reading. So don't forget to watch this entire video all the way to the end so that you can maximize these messages. That being said, as I mentioned in the introduction today, I'm going to be channeling messages focusing on what's surfacing, was about to possibly awaken within you, both your shadow side and your light side, as you rise to the next level, possibly here that may be unfolding for you in the month of March. And first, I will be channeling the shadow side, and then I'll be shadowing the light side of your reading. So let's take a look here. Now, if you missed that introduction, remember that I did pick a card readings exclusively for all of the elements. So if you know your astrological placements and other placements on your chart, be sure to take a look at the other messages in the pick a card readings, okay? So you can do that later. But that being said, wow, you have the Magician. Magician energy here. Well, let's talk about the Magician here in regards to the shadow side. So there may be a possible situation, circumstance, or event maybe unfolding or possibly unfolding here in the month of March, where you may feel like I'm not too clear about something. Like you're not seeing something clearly. You're not seeing the resolution of something clearly. It could be a little bit of an indecision about something. Just want to make a mention here that the Magician card is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is in retrograde. It will be in retrograde from February 26th all the way through March 20th. But listen carefully. The March 20th is when it's supposed to go direct, but there's always a shadow side. So there could be a week to 2 weeks, which would make that all the way to the end of March, where the energies are a little bit difficult, okay? Usually when Mercury is in retrograde, we are more in a reflective state. We are reviewing certain things. We're reevaluating something, okay? It could be a major thing that you want to close during this Pisces season, okay? Chapters that you want to close, things that you want to let go of, and just really thinking about it. And so that energy here, being the shadow of the Magician, is that you may kind of see something and say, well, I don't know if I have the solution or resolution for that. I don't know if I have the tools to get that done. There's this energy here of not maximizing your power or not maximizing your skill. It comes with a sense of uncertainty or apprehension, because that's how I'm picking it up here with the Magician in the shadow side. It could also be you being kind of caught up in the illusion of something and not seeing something for what it is, okay? Because that's that type of energy also here with the Magician card. It's the illusion of something. You're getting so caught up in the illusion of something that you're not able to see something clearly, whether it's a plan, to see something clearly in a plan, whether it's the resolution of something clearly, or whether it's creating something. Like you're trying to mastermind something, but there's the sense here is that like you don't have an established clarity of what that goal is or what the steps are. So it's a bit hazy. It's giving me the energy here of like the Two of Swords energy in tarot, right? Where there's this sense of indecision. I don't know, should I go left? Should I go right? I'm caught up, I'm clouded, I don't really see how to kind of exit the situation, circumstance, or event. So that's the Magician in its shadow energy. It's also kind of like, I'm also picking up like this energy of like not knowing where to begin, because that could also be here another possibility. It's like you know what you want, but you don't know how to start or, what step one would be. All right. So instead of asking other people, you're just kind of like, well, I don't know. Nothing's moving. Oh, well, and not allowing yourself to be proactive. Okay. So the Magician in its shadow side is not being very proactive in something. It's kind of stuck in this sense of ambiguity, apprehension, or uncertainty. Now, let's take a look at more details here for the shadow side here for you, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Now, remember, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, drop a rose in the comment section if these messages resonated for you. And if they did, you can share what group or pile that may have been. And the shadow side here says, you can't fake it now. What glitters isn't gold. Okay, there you go. There could be, interesting. There could be someone's mask falling. Listen carefully, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. There could be a situation, circumstance, or an event that may be unfolding here in the month of March where someone's mask falls. And therefore, whatever was being pretended, okay, whether it's you or whether it's another person, the mask is going to slip. And that could be a little bit confusing because now you're going to have to figure out, wow, what do I do? Should I, whatever, fill in the blank. You can't fake it now. So I'm getting that being someone's mask slipping and you being kind of catching that moment right there and having to make a decision about it. What I'm also getting here with you can't fake it is that if you've been, or maybe here in the month of March, there may be other things going on, especially because Mercury is in retrograde. So maybe you are a little bit kind of more reclusive, more nostalgic, more in this energy of rest that retrograde does. That you may say to yourself, okay, now what do I do? Now I see this or this happened. I don't know what to do. If you're used to kind of doing something impromptu, like just figuring something out very quickly, that may not be the case or that may not be what unfolds for you here. So you may not be able to just wing it. You may not be able to fake it because it's going to require some sense of skill, action, or ability that is very precise in whatever this may be talking about. This is also saying here, what glitters isn't gold. So what may seem as a very good opportunity, okay, may not be as fantastic, as great, as fabulous as you may think, because the person, the opportunity, or the environment may be trying to cloud your judgment. So therefore, you are not really seeing someone for what they are. And then there could be a possibility here in March that something happens. And all of a sudden, who, what, and the environment you thought was like optimal might not actually be. Now, this could be something that could have been unfolding over time, or this could be something that you finally realize in the month of March, as the month of March, as I said, is Mercury is going to be in retrograde. And guess what? The Magician card in Tarot is ruled by Mercury. So this is saying, group number 2, that this energy of Mercury in retrograde may dull your senses, may cloud your judgment, may have you kind of undecided, may pose a sense of confusion, may not allow you to maximize your fullest potential if you're not paying attention. Now, of course, I'm going to give you the light side of the reading, which can counteract this shadow side that I'm channeling, but that is what's coming through. So there could be something, someone, or an environment here where you just say to yourself, wow, I didn't really even see that before, and now I'm seeing it. And so now I have to figure out what decision I'm going to make, or how am I going to use my resources, my skills, my ability to, my tools and my resources to change something around or make a better decision. And that brings me to the light side of the Magician card in Tarot. So the light side is, how are you going to counteract that shadow? Well, the Magician in its light side is the magician that's intellectual. Remember, Mercury rules the Magician card in Tarot. Mercury influences the clarity of the mind, the clarity of communication. All right, it influences your ability to manage those glitches because you're on your feet. Okay, your mind is clear. All right, so the Magician card in Tarot is telling you you have the intelligence, you have the skills, you have the know-how, you have the ability to communicate in a clear way so that you can master this whatever situation, circumstance, event, or opportunity that may be unfolding for you in the month of March. So the Magician in its light side is one who has mastered the art of taking care of business, of being able to maximize its own resources, maximize its own talents, being able to be proactive, think clearly, communicate clearly. And communication is two sides. It's not just speaking, but is also being able to understand what someone else is saying. So it's the input and the output of communication, okay? What I'm also getting here is your ability to be resourceful in the month of March is going to maximize your opportunity to, in a way, I'm getting here something about leading something, okay? So I'm getting leading something or being control of something. And I'm not talking about micromanage, and I'm not talking about control in the shadow side, like being controlling, but like you're going to be able to go with the flow of it, okay? So now let's take a look here at what else is coming through in regards to the light side of this Magician card. Let's take a look at the yes here in this deck. And the yes says, make a splash, deep dive, flowing easily in your life. There you go. You're able to go with the flow of something here, because if you just lean into the magician's energy of the light side, then you're going to be able to override whatever the shadow side here may be potentially for you in the month of March, okay? So you're going to feel more in tune with deep diving or taking a risk. Remember, I did say that at the top of the reading. I was getting this sense of uncertainty or apprehension with the Magician card. It's like, I don't know where to begin. I don't know how to start. That's the shadow side of the Magician. The light side of the Magician is, listen, I might not know how, but I'm going to figure out a how. I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to ask for advice. I'm going to tap into the resources that I have that are disposable at my disposal, or I'm going to research something here. But I'm going to do something in order to make something happen, because there is a sense of inspired action. There's this leader type of energy here. There's this sense of like, I know I'm good at this. I'm the magician. I can make it. I could just whip it up and make something happen. But your sense of confidence and your clear communication, as well as the clarity of your thoughts, is going to, again, allow you to get and to tap into that confidence, those tools, those resources, and maybe that knowledge here, okay? So something is going to be easier in flow for you. Now, let's take a look at the preliminary card. We're going to start with the owl. Now, I'm not surprised that the owl is here, especially when I was just channeling here for you, your ability to connect with your thoughts clearly and your ability to communicate those thoughts clearly. Not just you communicating with others, but you also understanding people's thoughts and people's advice or people's conversation clearly as well. So it's a two-way system, especially because Mercury is going to be in retrograde all the way until almost the end of March, okay? And I'm including there that shadow side. So the owl is the sense of intelligence. You tapping into your intelligence. You tapping into the knowledge, the tools, the people, the communication, the listening, okay? All those skills that you're really good at, that you've mastered, and that you can whip up if you need to. It's like going back to your toolbox and taking a golden nugget that you may not have used for a very long time, or you may not have thought about for a long time, but it becomes useful in the month of March. And that sense of being not just clear-minded, but also intelligent and knowledgeable is going to maximize here this light side in the month of March. Let's see what else is coming through with the preliminary card. So that's what I'm getting here as well. By the way, I'm also getting, I'm also getting here your intuition. Because the magician does have this connection between the 3D world and the divine or the ethereal, right? So there could be this sense of you using the mystical, the daily affirmations, your manifestation, your ability to tap into the higher realms and connect with your intuition in a way that you not only use your resources or skills in the 3D world, but are you're also able to maximize your skill and your abilities with your intuition, your sixth senses, your gut level feeling. Okay, now let's jump to the preliminary card here, and you have Earthworm. Now, Earthworm, let me see what's here. It says novice, hesitant, mastery time. Okay, very interesting, because I did talk about that kind of like hesitation here in the with the magician card in its shadow side. So there may be some things popping up, situation, circumstance, event, connections with people or environments, where if you look at the magician on the side of its shadow, you know, maybe not having a clear vision of something. So you may feel like a fish out of the water of some sorts, okay? Especially if you have not created a sense of like, you know, schedule or, you know, a routine, or you've been, you know, if you haven't been organized, it's going to catch up, you know, with you here, I feel, in the month of March. But there is this novice type of energy. It's the beginner mindset. It's like you feeling like you're not too sure about something, even if you've been doing this for quite some time. Maybe it's a new situation, circumstance, or event. Maybe it's a new position or a new, you know, side of things. Okay. But the earthworm does come across as a beginner mindset. So you may feel a little bit like a fish out of the water. In something that maybe you are an expert on, or maybe that you're learning and you're in the beginning stages of. Okay, so that's how the earthworm here is connecting, I feel, with your reading. What I'm also getting here is kind of also maybe feeling intimidated, especially if there is something here that may accentuate or emphasize your shadow side here connected to the magician card. So you may feel less confident about something, or kind of like more insecure about something, or feel inadequate in regards to something. Okay, so there's this sense of like, I'm not sure. Okay, or you may be losing hope in regards to something. Okay, that's also coming through. Now, if we take a look at the earthworm energy, and I look at it here from the angle of this being the light side of this reading, okay? And I said that, and that actually happened. By the way, there's nothing wrong with my light, so that just happened on, you know, talk about, you know, the spirits, the ethereal realm here, kind of chiming in. Here with the earthworm, you know, looking at the light side of this is you not feeling intimidated by anyone. You really saying to yourself, you know, I have a mastery. I have a sense of experience that I've acquired over some time. And although that Mercury retrograde may be in effect, you leaning into your intuition and saying, okay, so maybe things in the 3D realm seem a little bit choppy, but let me lean into my gut level feeling. What is my gut telling me to do? What is my intuition? What is this hunch that I'm getting? This kind of like my sixth senses here, what are they alerting me to? And you allowing yourself to use your intuition, your sixth senses, your ability to connect with your hunches and actually follow through with that energy. So you building the confidence that you have in the 3D world, as well as the confidence here that you may need to build also with your higher self, your sixth senses, your gut level feeling, and your hunches here, in order for you to feel more confident and to say, you know what? Hold on a second. I know exactly what I need to do. If you don't know what to do with the resources in the 3D world, it's like I know what to do with the resources in the ethereal or my higher self, because my gut is telling me to move in this direction. Or for others of you, is the reverse. Your mastery, your experience, your knowledge, your intelligence is telling you, maybe I should use this tool. Maybe I should use that tool. Maybe I should tap into this skill set. Maybe I should talk to this person. Maybe I should connect with that person, because maybe they have some extra tools or resources to help me manage whatever this may be talking about. That being said, intuitive friend, don't forget to drop a rose in the comment section and give me a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next time. That's all that I have for you here. Take care and have a good one. Hi, intuitive friends, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. You selected group number 3, and group number 3 is represented, I should say, by the leaf. Now, I'm going to channel these messages towards the end of the reading, so be sure you watch this reading in its entirety. But first, let's talk about what I'm going to be channeling here for you. As I mentioned in the introduction, today I'm going to be focusing and channeling messages, focusing on what is about to possibly awaken within you, both the shadow side and the light side of your next level that is possibly unfolding here in the month of March. Now, I do want to say, intuitive friend, if you have other placements on your astrological natal chart, for example, if you have placements in Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, make sure that you take a look at those pick a card readings too, because each of the elements have different pick a card reading messages just specifically for you. Okay. All right. That being said, let's start with the shadow side here. Group number 3. Group number 3. Let's start with the shadow side, focusing on what your next level may be possibly unfolding here in the month of March. Now you have here the 7 of Swords. Okay. The 7 of Swords. Let's talk about the shadow side as well as the light side. But I'm going to start with the shadow first. 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords energy here is actually in the shadow side is actually more positive than it is in the light side. Okay. So the 7 of Swords in the reverse or in its shadow side is someone confessing, someone saying something, someone sharing or coming clean in regards to a situation, circumstance, event, person, environment, whatever this may be. They want to get the record straight. So whether it's someone confessing to something, someone sharing how they may feel guilty or remorseful or asking for forgiveness here as well. This could be someone coming clean with all the information they know about something, or coming clean in regards to saying, hey, listen, this is how I truly think and feel, or this is what's been going on with X, Y, and Z, and I just wanted you to be aware of it. Now, this could be someone else coming to you with that energy, or you actually coming clean to someone, to something that you may feel that maybe you've been hiding. Maybe you've been hiding it because you haven't known how to broach the topic, how to even start having a conversation about it. Maybe you've been feeling this way for quite some time, especially because the swords energy is here. So maybe you've been thinking a certain way for quite some time and you've been holding it in. You've been repressing it or suppressing it. Maybe it hasn't been the right time. Maybe you've been waiting for the right time. But whether it's you or someone else, or you or something else, the Seven of Swords energy in the shadow side is someone finally saying, listen, we got to sit down and talk. We got to talk because fill in the blank, whatever that because may be for you. So that may be this energy here connected to the shadow side of the Seven of Swords. Now, I do also feel here that the Seven of Swords in its shadow side is maybe also talking about a strategy. Maybe a strategy or a resolution or solution that you've been thinking for quite some time. Maybe you haven't brought it up. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe you needed to be sure first before you brought the idea on the table, or that you actually made a decision about something here based on whatever the conversation may be. But the Seven of Swords is you finally figuring out here that after some type of evaluation of something, that it is time to bring it out to the open. There's no more secrets. There's no secret action, secret thoughts, secret conversations. Something may come out in the open. Now, remember, I'm saying that this could be you or this could be someone else. And in those examples, I was talking about that happening willingly, meaning you willingly saying something, confessing something, clearing the air, having a clear slate of communication with someone, or someone doing that with you. However, in the shadow side, it could be you finding something out, someone getting caught red-handed in something where there's no other way to go about it other than to have to confront the situation. Okay? So that is what's coming through. Of course, I'm going to give you more messages here in regards to the light side, but that could be that energy that's coming through here with the shadow side. Okay, this did a very big peekaboo, so we're going to pull it out. And we're only looking at the no here. It says the bridge is frail. I'm sorry, the bridge is frail. Crossing is risky. Okay? I feel here, and this term is coming up connected to this group number 3, and it is the straw that broke the camel's back. There may be a potential situation, circumstance, or event, whether it's a person, an environment, whether it's external, whether it's internal, but there could be that last straw that broke the camel's back. That's something that may have been already at the kind of the last string or the last straw happens, and something risky or something that maybe you were hesitant on, maybe you've been feeling this way and there hasn't been an out. This could be the out, or this could be the spilling of the beans of this whole thing. Okay, whatever this may be. The bridge is frail, something that is very much running on thin ice. That's also coming through here. Where crossing may be risky, but it may be a risk or a decision or looking at something in a way that you're just going to have to figure out how you're going to ensure that whatever this decision or whatever you crossing this situation may be, it might be risky, but it might be what is needed in order to provide the sense of clarity or the sense of bringing something out in the open. Okay? Now let's take a look at the Seven of Swords in its light side. And the light side of the Seven of Swords is someone being sneaky, someone lying, someone wearing a mask. So there could be a situation, circumstance, or an event where there could be something happening behind the scenes. Someone is not being brave enough to speak their mind. They're not brave enough to share their thoughts or a decision, or they feel insecure about something, and they're managing it in a way that is deceptive, in a way that it may be creating here some type of strategic manipulation or some type of gaslighting. So something is not known. So the Seven of Swords in its light side, like I said, holds more of that weight of not knowing. Whereas the Seven of Swords in its shadow side, or in the reverse, is yes, all of this is happening behind the scenes, but there is some type of clarity that comes through, whether willingly or unwillingly. So the Seven of Swords in its light energy is saying there could be a situation, circumstance, or an event where either you feel like you're getting away with something or someone feels like they're getting away with something. Now, whether they're going to get away with it or not, again, it all depends on, different scenarios and different factors, because this is a general reading. But the person, whether it's you or someone else, or whether it's a group of people, or like, for example, if it's like a job situation, the company or the colleagues or the staff, people think they're going to get away with something. Okay, so there's this kind of like keeping something secret, not sharing, not saying something. You maybe even feeling in your gut level like something doesn't feel quite right, or, someone is not acting as they usually do, or there could be things crossing your mind intuitively, like, you know what, it's kind of weird that that's crossing my mind, but it makes sense because I'm noticing X, Y, and Z. So the Seven of Swords in its light side is you evaluating and really kind of noticing. You might find out about it. You might get to the bottom of it, but it's you doing the work of the evaluation, the assessing, the observing, being patient, and seeing that something may be moving. You might find out about it, you might not. But either way, the situation is being masked, or the intentions are being masked, or the thoughts are being masked, or the communication, that conversation is not being had, whether by you or by someone else. Now, let's take a look at what bright side here could be shining through with the Seven of Swords in the light side of your March reading. So I'm going to take a look at the yes here of this deck to add more details to. Okay, it didn't flip over, but you know what? It went literally right on top of that. So you know what? Let's just leave it there. I'm gonna get to it. That's a complete sign symbol synchronicity right there. Okay, so let's see here for you. You have follow the guidance. It leads to truth. Validation, confirmation, exactly what I was talking about. There's a sense of someone being deceptive, whether it's you or someone else, or not finding something out. Okay? There's some secrets. There could be secret conversations, secret plot, secret motive. There could be an ulterior motive here. But again, your sense of reevaluating something is going to be super important here in the month of March in connection to this reading. Okay? Now, let's take a look at what sign symbol synchronicity, and you have yes, finding fertile ground, steady growth, and fruitful. Okay. So, this is coming across as you following your intuition. And because you choose to follow your intuition, it's going to lead you to you either finding something out, finding out the motive, finding out the details, finding out the information that was either intentionally kept from you, or Someone's been gaslighting you here about it. You finding out, and it says here, finding fertile ground. You making a choice maybe to leave that situation, circumstance, event, or maybe even person or group of people that may be all connected to the Seven of Swords, whether in the shadow side or in the light. So you choosing to release yourself, whether it's to walk away, whether it's to make the decision like, you know what, this just doesn't feel right. I don't feel like this can grow. I don't feel like I can grow. I don't feel that we can grow. I don't feel like there's abundance in whatever this may be potentially here. Okay. And by the way, I'm only looking at the yes, but look at that. It's like you could see through the cracks. Something just completely, it's like gonna break down here in some way, shape, or form. And it's interesting because you also have that here. Remember, it said crossing, it said the bridge is frail. And look at that. It says cracks in your facade. What? Unsupported, drying up. I mean, literally, this is talking about that mask energy, that type of information that you don't know, that is being held from you or being kept from you in some way, shape, or form. So, I mean, I do feel that there is going to be some type of release here. Just to give you a kind of like, information here. During Mercury in retrograde, we really try not to make sudden moves. Okay, we reflect, we review, we see, we observe, we assess. And once Aries season starts, which, yes, I know that there's still going to be a little bit of that retrograde energy, but once that Mercury goes direct and we're out of the shadow period, that if this is something having to do with you making a decision or doing a next step or some sort, or kind of like really putting action in something that you wanted to grow, I would suggest to do it after the shadow period of the Mercury in retrograde, because that's going to give you more oomph. Okay, everything, especially with Mercury, because Mercury is about the clarity of the mind and clarity of communication and all that. So it influences those things. So yeah, that would be my advice here. Okay, that being said, by the way, I have a strong Mercury placement, so I will be stumbling over my words for the next month. So there you go. All right, group number 3. Let's take a look at this here. You have you picked or you chose intuitively here the leaf. Now, what's interesting about this leaf, and I hope that the camera can pick it up, is that this leaf has a lot of little dots all over it, right? I don't know if you could see that, but there you go. Has a lot of little dots all over it. This leaf is representing the leaf that falls from the trees in autumn, okay, or in the fall season. Quite interesting, because you have a leaf that is dry, brittle, old. It went through its seasons and it's no longer going to be able to hold its position here on the tree, right? Which is the same thing here that says cracks in your facade, whether it's your facade or someone else's facade. Unsupported, drying up. Quite interesting. In this same card, we have a leaf that's green, that's bountiful, that's growing, that's fruitful. And so the message additionally that's coming through here for you is that I'm picking up that this dry leaf, there may be a chapter that may be closing here. Whether you choose to close it or whether it's going to be closed in some way, shape, or form, through destiny, through you finding something out, through you finally connecting the dots on something here, and you choosing, just like this leaf, choosing to release yourself from either the situation, circumstance, event the environment, or a person. So that's how this leaf is coming through spiritually, energetically here in your reading. Let's take a look at the card here that you picked. You picked snake. What? Out of all the things, snake, the person who's trying to be clever, sneaky. And usually that's not how I read the snake. But in this context, that's exactly how it's coming across. Listen, you may have a snake or several snakes in your pit around you, surrounding you, whether this is something connected to work, whether this is connected to your family, whether this is connected to your partner, whether this is connected to a romantic relationship or a non-romantic relationship, but there's a snake slithering in your energy field. Okay? Or there is some type of manipulation or some type of like secretive situation going on here, and there's some snakes in the mix here. Okay? So that's the first thing that's coming through. The second thing that's coming through is I always associate snake with growth. Okay, I associate snake with the molting of the skin. In order for the skin to grow, in order for the snake to grow, it has to release the skin. So that molting period is super important for the snake. So I'm getting here this time where during the month of March, there's going to be some sense of growth here for you. Remember, you do also have it here with finding fertile ground, steady growth, and fruitful. There may be some type of realization that is happening during this Mercury in retrograde, that although usually Mercury in retrograde brings us to the sense of, reviewing, reevaluating, reflecting, and remembering, that during that energy here, that Mercury in retrograde may be shining a light. Because if you take a look at the snake has a lot of light behind it. It may be shining a light on something that, number one, you may not have picked up in your radar in the past or recent past, but you may be picking it up in your radar in the month of March. Again, whether it's intentional or whether something just, ta-da, a kind of like a tower moment, so to speak. Okay? Kind of like something changes unexpectedly, and it's like, oh my gosh, like now what, right? I do feel that you might make a decision if that's the case. Again, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Whether it's a connection with a friend, family, loved one, whether it's a situation, circumstance, event, whatever this may be, you may choose to release, or you may have no choice but to release it in order for you to grow in a specific area. I do feel that at the beginning you may feel, especially for those of you, this is like something that just boom, just happens. You may feel like a fish out of the water, but you are going to rely on your inner potential. You're going to rely on the untapped potential that you didn't even realize. It's like you're going to kind of figure something out. You're going to really lean into your power. You're going to follow the guidance of your intuition. And also, you might even follow the guidance of someone who's been there, done that, or maybe an experience that you had in the past or recent past. Because remember, Mercury in retrograde also highlights the lessons that we've learned in the past or recent past that we need to take a look at and extract and apply those lessons maybe in our new chapter. And if that resonates for you, this enlightenment, this sneaky, slithering situation, person with a mask, person that has a motive, person that, you might see one face, but there's something happening behind the scenes that your intuition is letting you know, and you're like, okay, I got to release from that. It's going to lead you to the truth of something. So you investigating, finding something out, or just maybe your intuition is going to open up this kind of hunch where you're going to say to yourself, you know what? Something here isn't growing, or I don't feel I'm growing in this situation, circumstance, event, with this person or with this environment, I feel like I'm stagnant. I feel like a snake that's just sitting there, unable to tap into my unlimited potential. And so there may be here this kind of awakening here for you, because that's how this snake energy is coming through, where you kick to the side the sense of procrastination, especially if you've been waiting for the right opportunity to do this. It's like, now I know what I'm going to do in order to do that. And you might commit yourself to actually releasing, because I'm also picking up here that there could be times where you're like, yeah, I'm gonna leave this situation, leave this person, leave this environment, or I'm just gonna do this, and you keep saying you're gonna do it, or you keep saying like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna make that decision, okay, but then there have been parts of you that have just been like, no, just maybe let me just wait a little bit more. But this snake energy is like, no, I'm not going to wait any longer. I am going to make those moves that are necessary, because I do need to find a ground, an environment, a person, a situation, a circumstance that allows me to flourish, that allows me to grow, that allows the growth, so that there's prosperity and then there's abundance connected to the growth, so that you're no longer in an energy of lack or of dryness, of feeling unsupported, feeling that there are cracks in people's facades, or in situations that, the cracks are really visible at this point. And you're going to be like, no, I want to be this blooming green leaf, not one that is no longer growing. That's all that I have for you, group number 3. Group number 3, don't forget to drop a rose in the comment section. And also give me a thumbs up, like, share, continue to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon.